New York's great corporate leaders, one of the most influential men in New York. He has negotiated with some of the biggest moguls in New York, and now he's going to negotiate this stage tonight in front of your eyes. Let's give a big warm welcome and a lot of love for Steve Siegel, everyone.
Hi. How fucking funny was that, huh? I actually was told I couldn't say fuck, so you would not hear it out of my mouth. I was told no ethnic jokes. In fact, David told me he was worried there'd be no crowd. I said, with the real estate business the way it is, just the people I owe money will fill the room. He also said to me, do you have any problem keeping the mic close to your mouth? I said, no, I don't. My wife might. I want you to know I changed my whole stinking act because of these guys that came up before me. I'm the only professional up here. But I did have a lot of jokes that were longer, not one-liners like I'm doing now. This is really spontaneous, trust me. That's why it sucks. I want to quickly introduce my family that's here. My wife Wendy, my son Jared, my brother's here, my nieces are here. I don't know who else. And I'm only doing that because Stu did it. I mean, in fact, I have no memory. There may be 10 other people here. But I went to the doctor this morning. I said, Doctor, I have a problem. I don't remember anything. He says, when did this start? I said, what? Now, I want you to know if it's bad, I wrote my own shit, all right? Now, he told me there's no black people in here. Is that true? Because if there were, if it weren't, I would tell the joke about the black guy who walks into the bar with a parrot on his shoulder, and the bartender says, oh my God, what an exquisite creature, where'd you get him? He says, Africa, you schmuck, there's millions of them. I would not have said that if they didn't do Native American jokes, Italian jokes, Paisano, I mean, you name it, they did it. I said to my wife this morning, honey, would you love me when I'm old and fat? She said, I do. That was another beauty. I really started my day out great. Now, I do have a couple of actual jokes. I'm going to make them generic. This guy says to his wife, what do you want for your birthday, honey? She says, I want something in the driveway that goes from 0 to 150 in 5 seconds. So I bought her a fucking scale. She really beat the shit out of me. Still getting over the bruises. I want you to know that for a long time I looked for the perfect Jewish wife. That's a 4 with $6 million in the bank. But I couldn't find that, so I found the best woman on earth. And I will not make the jokes about you, sweetie, that I was going to, that you found and said you'd kill me if I did. So I'm going to make them generic. So this guy... So I went out to get an anniversary present for the generic wife. And I went to Victoria's Secret because I wanted something really special. Fucking special, that's it, I said it again. So I said, I want your most expensive and your sheerest negligee. So they showed me 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't like them. Then they showed me one that was almost fucking invisible. I said, I'll take it. How much is it? $5,000. I said, I'll take it anyway. I go home, have it wrapped, we have a beautiful anniversary dinner. I said, sweetheart, I have a great gift for you. Go upstairs, I'll get into bed, you go in the bathroom and put it on. She opens it up, she says, shit, I know this. That guy, you can barely see it. It's the most expensive one in the store. I'm not even gonna put it on because it's so sheer. She puts it back in the box. She says, I'm gonna get the money back. She walks out. She says to me, what do you think, honey? I said, for $5,000 fucking dollars, I could have ironed it. But, as generous as I was, she was even better. She knew, and most of you won't remember Bridget Bardot. But when I grew up, Bridget Bardot was the sex symbol of all time. She was the most beautiful, unbelievable, I mean wild. I used to go to the movie Sneak-In for a quarter just to see her legs. There was nothing else. They didn't show anything else in those days. So for the first 10 years, I fantasized about it. So now it's my 10th anniversary, and my wife decides she's going to indulge this fantasy. She goes to a tattoo parlor. She says, I'd like to get 2 beads, 1 on each of my breasts. So when my husband makes love to me, he'll think of Bridget Bardot. I know it's just a silly fantasy, but I want to indulge it. Yeah, the tattoo guy says, do you go to black ties? She says, yes. You wear low-cut dresses? She says, yes, I do. He says, they'll see the bees. She says, oh, I can't do that. He says, do you wear any bikinis? Yes, I do. Well, they'll see the bees. Well, what am I going to do? I don't have anything else, and the anniversary's 3 hours away. He says, I can tattoo a bee on each cheek of your butt. That'll be covered by the bikini, covered obviously by the dress, and it'll just be for you and your husband. She says, thank you, fantastic. She goes home, we had a wonderful dinner. She goes upstairs, says, get in bed, I have a big surprise for you. She goes into the bathroom, she comes out with a little negligee. I'm laying there, she takes it off, turns around, bends over. I say, who the fuck's Bob? Hey, keep it up. Because real estate sucks, and this is what I'm going to be doing. So. I only have a couple more minutes. I'll tell you about the time we went to my high school reunion. And my wife caught me staring at a girl for several minutes. And she says, do you know her? I said, yes, I do. She's my ex-high school sweetheart. And she said, she's drunker than a skunk. I said, yeah. She said, look at her. She's snogging it down like she can't stop. She said, what's up with that? I said, I was told the minute I broke up with her, she started drinking and hasn't stopped yet. My wife says, I didn't think anyone could celebrate that long. Now, I do have a joke or two that I was going to tell. They're a little bit longer. And one of them, actually, it's one of my favorites. It involves my son just graduated from Michigan. Congratulations, son, 8 years. 8 wonderful years and $350,000, but you gotta pay. Anyway, but he had, the job market stuff, so he had a lot of friends looking for jobs. One of his friends decided he wanted to be a salesman, came overnight. His father said, son, congratulations, you graduated. What do you want to do? He says, well, Dad, I want to be a salesman, but I have a bad lip. I don't think I can be a salesman. Son, you can be anything you want. I don't think so, Dad. You work really hard. I said, I know you can be a salesman. There's no in our family. Okay, Dad, I'll give it a try. Next day, he's home. Father says, how'd you do today? He said, not so good, Dad. I got a job with a toothbrush salesman. I only sold 1 toothbrush. 1 toothbrush. So what? He said, I told you I couldn't be a salesman. I had to bring it left. Not possible. He said, anything's possible. I don't want to hear not possible. He says, you get out there. What am I going to do? He says, just need a gimmick. A gimmick? What do you mean gimmick? You figure out some reason to hook the people in. All right, Dad, I'll try. Don't try, you'll do it. Okay, next day, the kid comes home. He says, how'd you do? He says, I sold 36,000 toothbrushes today. He said, what? What'd you do? He said, well, the Yankees were playing up the World Series, and the stadium was sold out. So what does that have to do with toothbrush? I set up a stand, free brownies. A guy came up, he's like, is the brownies free? I said, yes. He took 1 bit, he said, that brownie tastes like dick. I said, it's dick. You want to buy a toothbrush? I'm going to close with this one. Nothing is inappropriate, I found out. You know how some things strike you as funny? Well, I had a little accident today. It's not so funny. I rear-ended the car. We pulled over to the side, and a dwarf jumped out, ran to my car, and said, I'm not happy. I said, which one are you? Thank you very much. Goodbye.